The After Effect Podcast.
Played with one of the best quarterbacks I'll ever live, Aaron Rodgers. You was blessed to touch that extension, be able to solidify a foundation for your family, man. So just talk about some moments that stand out to you your first 7 years with the Packers.
My first moment that stood out to me in Green Bay was I was there early because I had rehab for my shoulder, and Charles, like the locker room was still dark, like lights weren't all the way on yet, and like some of them weren't obviously, but it was dark. It was before anybody was there, and this was during mini camp, and Charles Wood came up to me. I'm sitting in my locker. Literally, him and I the only ones in the locker room. He's like, "Hey man, how your shoulder doing?" I'm like, I can hardly talk. Like, yo, Charles Woodson just came up and asked me how am I doing, bro. I'm like, yo, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good, Wood, I'm good, man. I'm getting there. He's like, all right, man, we really gonna need you this year. I was like, yo, yo, I called the whole family. Charles Woodson said they gonna need me. Yo, it's about to go down. This is crazy. Charles Woodson, yo, hit me up. Oh my God, yo, that's crazy. Charles Woodson, yo, he came up to me. He know Charles Woodson knows I'm on the team. He actually knows I'm on the team. Yo,
Bro, I already know that
was a moment.
Yeah, I know that.
That was a moment, man. It did, and then, so that was one, man. That was like the biggest one I can remember is that, and then from there on, it just started to be like the dominoes were falling from like all the other guys, like the D lineman. I'm in the room with B.J. Raji, who's a Pro Bowl, a guy who I looked up to, right? Or looked up to rather. Mike Neal. Remember, we saw Mike in college, and we was how does a human look like that, bro? You feel me? I'll never forget that, bro. Me and you, I was like, yo, LeBron, that's how you gonna look when we seen you, bro. And then Ryan Pickett, who played, like he was a 12-year vet, and they're looking at me, do the stuff that we did at Iowa, you know what I mean? And they're like, man, how do you do this certain technique? How do you do this certain form? D coordinator pointing me out, thrashing like all pro guards, like, look, this is how you play the run. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the offensive lineman showing respect. Like, I never forget Josh Sitton, who's a phenomenal guard. He was the best. He was the best guard in football for like 3 years straight at one point.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember he came up to me before the Browns preseason game. And he said, hey, dude, I'm just let you know, don't make me a liar. Because I talked real good about you in the media. I'm like, yo, Josh Sitton showed me gave me props in the media.
Yeah,
he showed me love in the media.
Yeah.
But it's just cool. I'll never forget Clay Matthews said to me, hey, man, I don't want to say this too loud or whatever, but I'm putting Clay out there. He said, I love when you come on the field. You bring a certain level of intensity and violence to the game, man, and I love your mentality. I'm like,
love.
So you get the respect like that from your peers. It really lets you know, like, let me keep working. Let me keep doing what I'm doing, man. And that's like that, man. Good locker room, man. Really good dudes, great teammates, and
yeah.
those are guys you like to go to war with. I played in two NFC Championship games. One where arguably we definitely should have won. Another one we got blown out. So it was, but to be in that atmosphere is crazy. Playing in the playoff game is insane because when this is over, it's over.
Yeah.
When this is over, it's over, bro.
Like leading into the playoff games, was there any like anxiety? It's like, man, like, because us growing up, I'm sure you watch football growing up. You watch these playoff games, you want to go to the Super Bowl, and now you actually playing in them, like you starting in them.
Right.
Was there any kind of anxiety, like, man, wow, this is really my life, or it's kind of like, no, this is football. This is what I've been doing. Like,
the first one I played in was when like Kaepernick was killing us with the zone read. Nobody had seen it yet. He ran for a stupid amount of yards.
I remember that.
That's the first one I played. Well, excuse me, the first one before that was against the Vikings. So that almost didn't feel like a playoff game because we literally just played them the week before, and it was like, okay, we're playing the Vikings again, and we beat them. That one against the 49ers, though, that one felt like a playoff game. It was like
crazy.
Man, what? And the atmosphere there was crazy. They had 2 Chainz. That's back when he was like on. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was performing before every kickoff they had. It was just crazy, bro.
It's a crazy atmosphere. I remember watching that game. Yeah.
And what? So that and then that was crazy. And they came to Lambeau the next year. We had some some salt in our blood for that one. And unfortunately, we lost on the final field goal. That was a tight game. And then playing against Dallas, because that's when they offensive line first really started becoming the offensive line, and we killed the run game that week.
Yeah.
And then we lost to Seattle in the championship game. But like those playoff games, the first one, like I said, just felt like a regular game because there was like a feeling of, okay, this is Minnesota. We know how to beat them. We played the 49ers. It was like, yo, they whooped us the first week. We can't let this happen again. And it did. But it really, like, it had that playoff atmosphere. It was insane, man. It was crazy. It really was crazy.
Man,
So,
who would you say, your 8 years in the league going into year 9, who would you say was the best center guard that you ever went against?
Best center guard. The best guard I went against, I would have to say it was Josh Sitton. That was in practice.
Right, okay.
Because he blocked in a way that he was so big, he was so strong, he just would grab you. Now, I would still do well against him, and he definitely made me better because nobody else blocked like him. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And I say this, and I always say this, Zach Martin is the best pass blocking guard in the NFL.
And he has for the Cowboys, right?
Right. Now, he's a good run blocker, right?
Okay.
But like most guys, I've seen him get beat in the run. I've never seen him get beat in the pass.
Wow.
He is great. He is the best pass blocking guard in the NFL. So he gets that from me every day of the week, man.
Yeah.
He is he's a great technician in the pass block, man. He is the best in the league at that. And as for centers, I'd say Rodney Hudson, Travis Frederick, Jason Kelsey.
Okay.
It's like I played against there's a lot more guys at center that I'm like, that dude was really good to me versus guards, right? But those, like, I can list off centers for days, man. Like, there's a really good center here, Corey Linsley in Green Bay.
I know.
Frank Ragnow and Detroit is good. Like, there's a lot of really good centers out there. So I can't really say, the best. Oh, then Jari Evans played against him. And
for the Saints.
Yes. Jari was like, I had to make sure I played a perfect game or else I was going to look bad.
Oh, wow. He was that good.
Yes.
That's what's up, man. So, man, obviously, I think when you make it to the NFL, every guy's one of every guy's goals obviously win a Super Bowl but also be a top 100 player, right? And so you was able to be a top 100 player 3 years in a row: 2016 at number 95, 2017 at number 84, 2018 at number 93. Just talk about those 3 years, man. Like, what did you really tap into to be able to gain the respect of your peers to the point where they had to make sure you were in the top 100 for 3 years straight? And two things that stood out to me, obviously I've been knowing you since we was 18, but just the dog mentality that like talking to Trent Williams, like an 8-time Pro Bowl. I'm looking at you. What you think I'm looking at? Like, just and then Adrian Peterson, 10-year All-Pro. I mean, one of the best running backs we've ever seen in our
of all time.
Generation. Don't run in my hole again. Yo, don't come my way again. Like, just like that dog mentality, dog. Like, what did you what did you tap into to be able to have that consistency to be top 100 3 years in a row? Because that kind of stuff, playing in the trenches on the D-line, it usually don't happen, especially not at D tackle. Maybe DNs if they get a lot of sacks.
Right.
But at D tackle, bro, that's something different. And it's only a handful of you guys that did that 3 years in a row. It's like you, the guy from the Bengals. It's only a handful of guys that was in there every year.
Yeah, man. I'll for sure have to say what I learned at Iowa, and that was just the consistency of being in position and then controlling offensive linemen. I'm not trying to run around somebody. I'm not just flying off the ball every play. I'm not chasing sacks. I'm getting hands on guys, controlling them, being where I need to be so I can make a play. And when you're watching film, you can look and say that dude hasn't made a tackle today, right?
Right.
He doesn't have a sack. But, oh, my God, he's disrupting every single play.
Right. Just disruption.
And if he's not disrupting the play, he's whooping the offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do against that? I do not look forward to this because it's going to be every single play is going to suck. And every single play, we have to watch where he is. Now, this is stuff I've heard from, you know, guys from around the league, right? And I think that's what it is, because I got voted into the Pro Bowl when I had 3 sacks at the time. I ended up with 5, but I had 3 at the time, and it's you know, I was voted first alternate at that point. So